Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what lies beyond the stars? This curiosity is nearly universal. And when it comes to Mars, this question becomes even more powerful. The red planet isn't just a celestial body, it's a symbol, an invitation to explore the unknown, to push our boundaries. But what are we truly searching for on Mars? Is it just science or something deeper? In 2025, new missions by NASA and SpaceX promise to bring answers, but also more questions. Advanced robots, state-of-the-art instruments, and maybe even humans in the near future are heading to our neighboring planet. Meanwhile, here on Earth, we watch with a mix of fascination and anticipation. But why does Mars captivate us so much? What makes it so special? Mars represents more than science. It's a projection of our desires. The desire to understand our origins, to find life beyond Earth, or perhaps to escape the challenges we face here. But in this quest, are we truly seeking Mars? Or are we searching for ourselves? This video invites you to explore these questions. Let's uncover what Mars symbolizes for humanity, and how its exploration reveals our anxieties, hopes, and even answers to existential questions. Since ancient times, humanity has gazed at the horizon and asked, what lies beyond? When explorers crossed uncharted oceans guided only by rough maps and bravery, they were doing the same thing we do now with Mars. Mars is just the next frontier, a frontier that holds the promise of answers to questions that have followed us throughout history. In the early 20th century, telescopes began revealing fascinating details about Mars. Mysterious lines that looked like canals sparked imaginations worldwide. H.G. Wells wrote The War of the Worlds, and suddenly, Mars wasn't just a distant planet. It became a potential home for intelligent life. It was science blended with fantasy. But the underlying truth was clear. Our obsession with the unknown has always driven discovery. The space race of the 20th century gave this obsession a new focus. Missions like Mariner 4, Viking, and more recent rovers uncovered a planet rich in possibilities but seemingly devoid of life. Each scientific discovery led to more questions. What if? Mars transitioned from being the planet of Martians to a mirror reflecting humanity's greatest ambitions and fears. Today, with advanced missions, the question is no longer if we can explore Mars, but when. Yet behind all this technology lies a deeper force, the human need to find meaning in the act of exploration itself. Mars is the next chapter in our story of curiosity and discovery. But by looking at Mars, we are also looking at ourselves, at who we are, and what drives us to seek something greater. When we talk about exploring Mars, the question that intrigues scientists and dreamers alike is there life there? The search for life on Mars is undoubtedly one of the greatest challenges in modern science. Sophisticated instruments analyze soil samples, trace signs of past water, and hunt for organic molecules that could hint at microbial life. But is this quest purely scientific? Or are we searching for something beyond biology? Discovering life on Mars would be revolutionary. It would mark the first proof that we are not alone in the universe. Such a discovery could redefine how we see ourselves, our origins, and even our role in the cosmos. Yet philosophically, it could be both exhilarating and unsettling. If life exists elsewhere, does that make Earth less special? On the other hand, the absence of life on Mars raises equally profound questions. A barren, silent Mars could symbolize the universe's indifference. Nihilism reminds us that even in the face of such cosmic emptiness, meaning comes from within us. Mars, devoid of life, might teach us that significance lies not in what we find, but in the way we choose to live. It's also worth questioning why we're so determined to find life on Mars. Are we truly interested in Martian microbes? Or are we seeking validation? Proof that our existence fits into something larger? This isn't just a scientific endeavor. It's emotional and philosophical. While scientists work toward concrete answers, philosophers ponder the broader implications. Mars isn't just a planet. It's a mirror reflecting our hopes and fears. Whether life is discovered or not, the deeper quest might be within ourselves. Ultimately, the question, is there life on Mars, may matter less than the reflections it inspires. We aren't just exploring a distant world. We're uncovering what it means to be human. What we find on Mars, whether life or absence, will reflect what we choose to see. While scientists focus on exploring Mars, visionaries like Elon Musk have an even bigger idea: colonizing the planet. The dream is to build self-sustaining cities on Mars, turning it into humanity's second home. But this raises an intriguing question. Are we exploring Mars out of curiosity? Or are we trying to escape? The idea of living on Mars is undeniably fascinating. It represents a chance to start fresh, a place where humanity might avoid the mistakes made on Earth. But can we truly escape our problems, or are we simply carrying them to a new location? Mars offers the allure of a blank slate, yet it's unclear if we're ready to paint a new picture, or if we'll repeat the same patterns. This yearning to colonize Mars reflects more than just practical concerns. It touches on deeply existential fears. On a planet with finite resources and mounting challenges, Mars feels like a beacon of hope, a redemption arc. Yet it also raises a question. Are we fleeing the inevitable, or are we confronting it in a new way? Philosophically, this idea is tied to the concept of cosmic escape. By exploring other planets, we're not just seeking survival, we're grappling with mortality and the existential void. Yet even on Mars, the universe remains indifferent. No matter how many planets we colonize, the questions of existence will follow us. Thinking of Mars as an escape distracts from a more significant truth. The real issues aren't physical. They're within us. The real journey isn't to another planet. It's to confront our internal struggles and redefine who we are. Mars is undeniably captivating, but perhaps its greatest value lies as a symbol. It forces us to face our fears and aspirations. We may be ready to start over on a new planet, but are we prepared to truly change ourselves? What if, after decades of exploration, we confirm that Mars is, indeed, a dead planet? No microbes, no signs of past life. Just a silent, barren desert. For many, this would be a crushing disappointment. The search for life on Mars carries a poetic hope that we are not alone in the universe. But what does it mean to confront absolute emptiness? The absence of life on Mars could reinforce the idea that the universe is indifferent to our questions. Nihilism suggests that this void isn't something to fear, but something to accept. Discovering nothing on Mars might serve as a reminder that the meaning of life isn't out there. It's in how we choose to live here. Yet, emptiness can also inspire. A lifeless Mars might compel us to cherish Earth even more. If Mars is a world without life, it highlights the rare, fragile beauty of our own planet. Sometimes the absence of something teaches us more than its presence ever could. This possibility shifts our focus. Perhaps the greatest discovery on Mars isn't life, but the lessons we learn about our humanity. A lifeless Mars challenges us to imagine a future where life only exists if we bring it there. So, what do we do with the void? Do we accept it or reject it? We can choose to see Mars as a reflection of absurdity, or as a blank canvas, ready to be painted with new stories. After all, nothing isn't an end. It's the start of something we have yet to create. Mars may seem like a distant and unreachable world, but in many ways, it tells us more about ourselves than it does about the cosmos. Our fascination with the red planet isn't just scientific or technological. It's deeply human. It reflects our fears, our hopes, and our relentless desire to find meaning in a vast and indifferent universe. When we look at Mars, we project our anxieties onto it. The possibility of life gives us hope, but also forces us to confront the idea that Earth might not be unique. Conversely, the absence of life confronts us with the prospect of being entirely alone. In either case, Mars acts as a mirror reflecting our existential uncertainties. Psychologically, our obsession with Mars reveals dissatisfaction with our own planet. Earth is vibrant and full of life, yet we constantly look to the stars, searching for something more. This endless pursuit of the beyond demonstrates humanity's struggle to fill an inner void that no planet or discovery can truly satisfy. But what if our quest for Mars isn't about Mars at all? What if it's really about us? Exploring the cosmos is easier than exploring our own depths. Mars serves as the perfect stage for our dreams and fears. But it's also a reminder that the answers we seek might already be within us. In the end, Mars teaches us that the greatest exploration isn't out in space. It's within ourselves. The search for meaning, connection, and life may need to start here, on Earth, inside us. Mars then ceases to be just a planet and becomes a powerful metaphor for who we are. Mars fascinates us not just because it's distant and mysterious, but because it forces us to confront larger questions. It reminds us that the universe is vast, cold, and indifferent to our concerns. This realization can feel overwhelming, but perhaps cosmic indifference isn't a burden. It's a liberation. As Albert Camus wrote, life may be absurd, but that doesn't mean it lacks value. Mars, with its silent deserts and towering cliffs, is a physical embodiment of the absurd. We don't know what we'll find there. Life, emptiness, or more questions. Yet the act of searching itself is a testament to who we are as a species. Mars teaches us that it doesn't matter whether the universe has a purpose. What matters is what we choose to do with it. The journey to the red planet isn't just about science or survival. It's about discovering who we are when we stare into the infinite and decide to keep going. So let's continue. Mars reflects the best and the most uncertain parts of us. And perhaps that's what makes it so captivating. It doesn't give us answers. It gives us the courage to ask the right questions.